20 million people, all addicted to the same drug, an entire nation on the verge of collapse. Every previous government tried to stop it. Every single one failed. Wars were fought. Millions did, nothing worked. Then one regime did the impossible. They wiped out the world's worst drug epidemic in just 4 years. The methods, so brutal that talking about them is still controversial today. The results? Undeniable. This is how China broke an addiction that nearly destroyed it. And the tactics they used were more extreme than you can imagine. Picture this. China, 1906, 1 out of every 4 men is an opium addict. That's 13.5 million people out of 400 million. But in some coastal cities, 90%, almost everyone, the country was consuming 39,000 tons of opium every single year. Not grams, not kilograms, tons. This wasn't just people getting high. This was civilization literal collapse. Farmers couldn't harvest crops because their hands shook too much without their necks fixed. Soldiers collapsed on battlefields, too weak from withdrawal to fight. Teachers couldn't stand long enough to finish a lesson. Government officials lit opium pipes at their desks, while citizens waited for help that never came. Buddhist monks supposed to be enlightened were addicts. Taoist priests who preached discipline were smoking it daily. And here's the part that should terrify you. China had already fought 2 wars trying to stop this. They lost both wars. Badly, the drug won. The empire lost, but they kept trying. The Qing government announces a 10-year plan to eliminate opium. They ban growing it. They register every addict. Government officials get 6 months to quit or lose their jobs. Regular people get a bit longer. They burn opium pipes in public squares. Churches get involved. Schools start teaching kids that opium will destroy them. And it actually starts working. By 1909, some regions cut consumption by 1/3. Beijing nearly eliminates it completely. Then, 1911 hits. The Qing Dynasty collapses. And with it, any organized attempt to fight back crumbles. What replaces it? Pure chaos. Warlords seize control of different territories, and every single one needs money to fund their armies. Where do they get it? Opium. They don't just allow it. They force farmers to grow it. At gunpoint. You want to plant rice to feed your family? Too bad. Plant poppies, or we kill you. Between 1928 and 1933, this forced cultivation helps cause a famine that kills 6 million people. 6 million, because warlords wanted drug money more than they wanted their people to eat. By the 1930s, China is producing over 12,000 tons of opium annually. The country that was once a victim is now the source of 7/8 of the world's supply. In Shanghai, you can buy opium on practically every street corner. The government, too weak. Too broken. Kai-shek and the Nationalist Government announced this 6-year opium suppression plan. Finally, someone's taking this seriously. They execute thousands of dealers. They register users. They open clinics. Massive propaganda everywhere. But here's the dirty secret. The nationalists are also making money from opium. Lots of it. They control the trade to fund their war against the communists. They even put a literal mob boss du Yusheng from the Green Gang in charge of Shanghai's anti-opium bureau, Warlords, running the anti-drug program. An American diplomat said it best. They don't want to end opium. They want to control it and profit from it. So by 1949, when the dust settles, China still has over 20 million addicts. Nothing has changed. October 1st, 1949. The communists take power. Mao Zedong looks at this disaster and sees something different than everyone before him. He doesn't see it as a health crisis. He sees it as a symbol. A symbol of foreign humiliation. Of corrupt warlords. Of a weak, pathetic China that let itself be destroyed. February 24th, 1950. Zhou Enlai signs the order. The new government will eliminate opium. Completely. No exceptions. No mercy. This time, it's going to be different. 3 targets, all hit at once. Target 1. Production. They tie opium eradication to land reform. Landlords who owned massive poppy fields, their land gets seized and divided among peasants. Small plots can't grow enough poppies to be profitable. In Guangxi province, they just rip every poppy plant out of the ground. Doesn't matter who planted it. Gone in ethnic minority areas where people relied on opium for income. The message is simple. Grow food or starve. Target 2. Traffickers. This is where it gets dark. The government makes lists. Names of suspected drug dealers. Then they move fast. Mass arrests and interrogations, public trials in town squares where thousands watch. The sentences kiss execution for major dealers. Over 800 people shot. Tens of thousands thrown in prison for up to 10 years. But it doesn't stop there. They create neighborhood surveillance networks. Your neighbors are watching you. If you use drugs, they report you. If you sell drugs, they find you. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Target 3 addicts. Here's where the communists do something no one else tried. They don't just punish addicts, they see them as victims of the old system. The new China will save them. But saving them isn't gentle. Addicts must register. They get detox schedules. Some go to treatment centers. Others, labor reform camps. You work from sunrise to midnight, making shoes, farming, breaking rocks. The theory, if you're exhausted, fed, and have purpose, you won't need opium. It's brutal. But it works. Meanwhile, the propaganda is everywhere. Anti-drug posters in every city. Public executions of dealers broadcast to entire neighborhoods. The message is hammered into everyone's skull. The old China was weak and addicted. The new China is strong. Drugs have no place here. That compliance isn't optional, it's mandatory. By 1953, just 3 years, urban China is drug-free. Announces opium addiction in cities has been eliminated. No detailed numbers released. But when they start counting again in the 1990s, they find only 70,000 addicts. Compared to millions before, rural areas take longer. Some ethnic regions keep growing poppies until 1959. But even they eventually fold. China did what seemed impossible. What the Qing couldn't do. What the warlords wouldn't do. What the nationalists failed to do. They eliminated 20 million addictions. In 4 years. The cost high. The methods, extreme. The results, undeniable. China went from the world's biggest drug addict to completely clean faster than anyone thought possible. Not through kindness, not through rehab programs, through overwhelming, absolute, uncompromising force. The dragon was broken by opium. The dragon recovered through iron will, and the dragon never forgot what weakness looks like. If this story blew your mind and made you realize how fast a nation can transform when it stops playing nice, then smash that like button right now and subscribe to Access Lens. We're bringing you the stories that reveal how power actually works in the real world.